lovers, it's your girl, mzDeeVa. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you to everybody that is tuning in across all of the platforms. Know that I appreciate you very much. So we're going to go ahead and get started like we always do. We're going to go over here and make sure that we add people to the podcast. So if you are listening and you are able to see the live wherever you are tuned in from, can you please share it? Tell your friend to tell another friend to tune into the Ask Diva show. So I am going to go over here to share with my personal friends on Facebook and friends and friends. Friends and frenemies. You guys gotta love me. All right, so I'm gonna share with my friends and frenemies over on Facebook. If you're listening via Twitter link, if that's where you got the link, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are listening via Spotify, thank you so much for being a part. Luminary, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast. And now, welcome, Ask Diva Facebook page. So if you're listening to the podcast via the Ask Diva Facebook page as well, you're going to love today's hot topic. So the topic today, we are going to answer a listener question. So the listener, you're asking what to do if they do not love you in return. That's today's hot topic. What to do if they do not love you in return. So we're going to go through a couple of parts that I feel like are key to this particular dilemma. For some, it's a dilemma. For others, it's like, you know what? I'm good with that. You have so many, and over the years of doing the podcast, we've had every caller call in that can call in to tell us they don't care. You don't love me. I'm moving on. I'm living my life. So as soon as when they show you who they are, believe them. Dr. Maya Angelou moment happens. So when they show you who they are, believe them. Man, I know some females that will bounce on that ass, and there are some men that will do the same. So we have heard those type of people even call into the show, have we not, over the past 10 years? So we already know that this happens, and there is just some cold-hearted people out there, and shout out to them because they are the VIP. 2020 post-COVID, that's the VIP attitude right there. You know what? If COVID crisis pandemic has not taught you anything, it should have at least taught most of us across the world. It should have taught us that life is too short to BS the little stuff, right? So if someone, that's the main thing you would want to just say, you know what? If you're not feeling me the way that I'm feeling you, and I find that I'm putting a little bit too much of the devaliciousness into you, then, some people are going to say, you know what? I want you to just get that new attitude post-pandemic. Or is there a post-pandemic? The way things are going doesn't seem like it is. But I want you guys to get that attitude like, no, I'm not putting up with this. Life is too short, and how dare you treat me like you don't love me or like you don't want to be with me, because I'm telling you, if COVID come for that ass and you're treating somebody bad and that person is still with you when COVID come for that ass, they may not save you. Dialing 911 is a choice, and so you're not going to be able to dial 911, and they're going to have to be the one dialing for you. We have all seen that. What's that Tyler Perry movie? What is the Tyler Perry movie, before we get into part one of the answer on this topic? Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Remember when she threw him in that bathtub? So yeah, it could get like that. You don't want that to happen. So you do need to realize that you can continue to treat somebody bad if you want to, but eventually that thing is going to come to an end. And there's two parts to all of this, and we're going to talk about that as we get into the answer. There is a reason sometimes why people are treating somebody badly, because sometimes that person has done some things in the past. Road to Yesterday. Better watch that movie. We're going to bring that up as a movie review soon. I'm hoping to get Honey to join me on the topic. Who knows? But I do want to review Road to Yesterday, and it does need to have a male and female companionship discussion on it. We're going to do that. You remember back in the day, we used to have Battle of the Sexes, here on mzDeeVa, and let's do companionship talk. Watch somebody steal it. As soon as I log off, I'm gonna see somebody have the companionship show pop off. I don't know why I say things because you know somebody's gonna steal it. If you steal it, I'm coming for you. All right, so part one. You guys are tired of me talking, aren't you? The behavior of the other person. So you ask me, what do I do, Diva, when they do not love me the way that I love them? So part one, what is the behavior of the person who is not returning the love? So if it's a violent behavior, I cannot urge you enough. I cannot say this to you enough that you do need to leave. If you're getting hit on every day and you're for somehow you lost your iron frying pan and you're not able to use your hot grits and you're having to actually deal with that person daily, you're continuing to love on them and they're hitting on you, it is definitely time to get yourself some help. The behavior of that person speaks ethos that they are not good for you, and you need to just move on. Somebody hitting you every day is never okay. Somebody hitting you once is not okay, you know? So it's just to the point where you have to say, you know what? I'm not doing anything to you. I have been loyal. I have been faithful. I have been doing all that I can, and all you do is treat me bad and you hit me too. It is time to bounce on that A, you know? Now, if the behavior of the person happens to be the way that their feelings are being expressed and you're not being hit, and it's just that they are expressing themselves a certain way, let's go over to some things. I'm going to hindsight you 2020, and then I'm going to tell you how to deal with that as well. So we're going to go over to part two. Okay, so part two is going to be how do they express their feelings. Now listen to me, girlfriend. There are some things that you were able to pick up on when you were first dating that person. If you are reading my books, then you already know that you are supposed to give yourself 6 months to find out who they are, 6 more months to let the facade of the representative fade away, and then go into the 13th month finding out exactly who that person may actually be to give yourself 5 more months to decide if that is for you. So you should have been taking a long time before really calling this the real thing, before calling it, for women, I have this thing that if you're in a relationship with a guy, that you need to let him make the move, but again, millennials are like, Diva, nobody does that no more. Bitch, you with me. That's how it is. But I actually tell them, wait until he calls it a relationship. So that's pretty much my way. But then, nowadays women date women, men date men, cows date cows, and cows date men, and men date cows. So it's so different. I don't know if I'll be able to let that one go all the way across the board. But you don't want to just be assuming something is a relationship. There needs to be a real discussion about it. So when that discussion happened, how do they express themselves, right? So you do want to find out, how are they expressing themselves? If they are expressing themselves in a way where they don't really tell you how they feel, and you're always having to guess, and you guys know that I do not like the question process of making the relationship work where you're the only ones asking questions and they're just answering the football answer. Yup. Yeah. Straight. No doubt. Bruh. Those are not, yes, this is a relationship, I love you like you love me clarifications, okay? So if that is the kind of thing that's going on, that's, to me, that's not expressing yourself, But again, hindsight is 2020. When you're in that dating process, you can pick up on those cues already. Personally, the Diva can pick up on it for the most part on date one. If you are worth it, I'll continue on. But if not, I just, the dating process was very different for me because I just didn't tolerate the things that I see you guys tolerate from, that I know that's your pet peeve, and you keep on letting that person do that. Like my simple pet peeves were la mom, right? And so a la mom guy is going to say la mom probably within the first 30 minutes of you guys hanging out. right? And so it's easy for me within the first 30 minutes to an hour to know it's not for me. So what I do is when I'm having this conversation, when I meet the person, I'm talking. If you can't talk, you've got something to hide. So I'm talking. Now if he's a smooth operator, player from the Himalaya, he's going to be able to keep up with the conversation. That's a whole nother disaster. Girl, that book has not been written yet. But I'm going to talk a whole lot to make sure that I'm getting from you who you are, you know? And so if that first date and having a conversation, I'm just picking the simple things, diva stuff. So if a person's on a date with diva and they're on the first hour of the date and they say, oh, love mama, I'm gonna let them say it. Come on, guys, who do you think I am? I'm not gonna just stand up and throw the water on them right away. No, jokes. But I'm going to go ahead and continue the conversation, but now I'm picking up on other things, try to get real casual, throw in some jokes. That right, little mama, that's what I'm talking about. And then it just becomes way too many little moms for me. I already know by the 45th minute into the date, this isn't for us. So just kindly offer to pay your portion. Come on, don't act like a broke bitch. Offer to pay your portion and just be like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pay for my part. Thank you so much for meeting me out on this date. Because notice that we're out somewhere having coffee or lunch or brunch or dinner, right? Too many of you guys, just to backtrack for a minute, I'll get back to the topic. Too many of you are having your first date in locations where you can lay low and spread it wide. That's not a first date. That's just you being a hoe. All right, so let's go back. So anyway, when that happens, I get up. I'm gonna just go ahead and call this short. It's been so amazing to meet you. Now, what I did realize in this connection, this isn't for me. You're a really great person, and I know that there's somebody really great out there for you. I just know this don't work for me, right? So I just have little things that I don't too much care for. So I know that that would be something I wouldn't be able to tolerate on a long term basis. And so if you get that hindsight 2020, if you get that out the way back then, because you don't want to lay low, spread it wide. I can't tell you how many times that lay low, spread it wide connections always end up in a true how did he get here? Like you get there, right? So that can happen if you don't think first. So that's why I'm telling you that. Not telling you what to do with your little pot of gold, girl. Because this Billy Dyer, she do a lot with hers, but you do what you want with your pot of gold. It's yours. All right, shout out to everybody that's still tuned in. Make sure that you're following me on social media. Let me enter my shopper real quick. So make sure that you're following me. Yeah, multitask. That's what the diva does. Make sure that you're following me on social media. Hashtag ASKDEEVA. That is the Facebook and how to follow. And thank you so much to my shopper real quick. I'm letting her know. Shout out to the Shipped app. Hey Shipped, come sponsor the Ask Diva show. All right, you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, mzDeeVa for you, mzDeeVa, the number 4 and YOU. All right, so where are we at? So we've already talked about how do they express their feelings, right? So what I wanted to add in addition to that is the person simply an introvert and they're not expressing with words, but they're showing you with actions? Come on, picky lover, choosy lover. Look, if they're showing you with their actions that they are consistently going to be there for you, some of that other stuff can be worked out in part 4. So I will share that with you in part 4 where you can go with that. So part 4 will definitely work out that. So it's not that they're it's not may not necessarily be that they don't love you. They just may show you another way. And love is not always going to become in the form of I love you, right? So I had a conversation with a person that was from another country about maybe 8 years ago, and that person told me that in their country they don't mess around with the I love you. It feels fake. It feels like it's not the real thing. So where he came from, they show with action, right? So some people show with action, I had a person that I dated in 2009 and 2010, and he actually told me that his expression of love, I wasn't doing back. And so he realized that I didn't love him. And that definitely was his justified reason for cheating 55 times. And I understood it later because the 54 people that were dealing with him outside of me, they were doing something for him that I wasn't doing. And you will never believe what it was. So, what I was not doing, I was not arguing and acting a damn fool every day. And I didn't understand it until he sat me down one time. He's like, look, when my mom said that you gotta argue with a bitch. If you're not arguing with a bitch, then that ain't love. So yeah, we come from somewhere different, and that's not how David Brown taught me. So this ain't gonna work, you know. But no, seriously. But literally I had never heard that before, and I laughed, like I was cracking up. And actually, he was offended that I was laughing at his mom. And you act like that about my mom. No, I'm not laughing at your mom, but I'm disappointed that she taught you that. So, but there are some people that think that arguing every day is equal to love. And so they argue every day and curse each other out and talk bad and do it in front of the children. And the children go to school and call their classmates names like that. And it's just one big, happy, dysfunctional family. That's just not where I come from. So, yeah. So, how do they express their feelings? Breaking down what to do when they do not love you, it comes with a lot. And part 4 is going to answer the majority of your questions, because even if you don't go into part 4 as a duel, and if you just do it solo, it's still going to work for you. I promise you. All right. So, now let's get over to part 3. Who's having fun? Tell your friend to tell another friend to share this podcast. Because if I catch you guys listening and not pressing like on Facebook, I am going to have to let you go slowly. Everybody knows that I clean my Facebook list. So if I find you just like listening, this is what I'm telling you. My friends will tell you that, the things that I just hear, and I'm just like, why are you doing that? So some of my friends will actually they'll call me on the phone, and they'll be like, I know, like when you said that, what to do when somebody don't love you. And I'm like, oh, when I said that? No, like you just said it the other day. When you called me? No, D, like, on your podcast. Oh, bitch, you listened to my podcast and you didn't click like or comment once? So we go through that. So anyway, so let's discuss some things about you. The hurt one. It's in my notes. Stay with me. My phone went on pause. All right, so let's talk about you. The person that's not feeling loved. Why do you not feel loved? What is it that you require to feel loved? And what are you bringing to the table? What are you expecting the other person to bring to the table? Have you communicated with this person that this is what you expect them to bring to the table? Do you feel this way due to lack of materialistic support? If you're having this feeling because of lack of materialistic support, that's something within you that part 4 is going to work out as well. So that's something within you. This person may not have the capabilities. You had to, hindsight is 2020, girl. You had to decide, did you marry LeBron James' rich cousin? You make that decision before you go in. So if it's materialistic, and I have some materialistic friends that always get into relationships with people that are just lovers. And it's cool that you're in a relationship with someone that's just a lover, but they don't have the money that it takes to keep you where you feel loved. So when you know that you are the materialistic type, and you have to have designer this and designer that, and you have to have the latest this and the latest that with technology and a new car every 4 months. And girl, why are you shopping in an apartment complex for your dude? Airport. So you need to really make sure that you up your game a little bit. Are you shopping with the man that owns several apartment complexes? Or are you shopping with the dude that lives in apartment AB? You know what I mean? So, like, you have to really make up your mind where you're looking for this at. So, if you are high maintenance, girl, more power to you. The diva is a bad bitch. I just do it on my own rather than expecting someone I'm with to do it for me. If someone does it for me, then that's a perk. Get it? So you have to learn how to be that independent person on your own. That way, when someone does it for you, you can enjoy and appreciate everything about that without judging how much did it cost, where did it come from, none of those things, right? Be your own independent entity. But I'm not going to change the topic. You guys aren't ready for that one. So also, do you feel lack of emotional support? And that's when it'll take you into part four. Most of you that are consistent, loyal, faithful, always been there, 10 years strong followers of the Ask Diva podcast, and you already know what part four is going to say. But for the new people, we have to say it anyway. So don't get impatient, listeners that have been here for a while. For the new people, here is what is up. Part four is all about, is going to take care of really part one, two, and three. And everything that we talked about. But part four also is going to be needed to get down to how do you express yourself? How do they express themselves? Part four can't happen if it doesn't matter. Right? So you're not going to be able to do counseling and therapy. I'm sorry for you podcast listeners that can't see the screen. Part four is counseling and therapy. I'm going to go over the list again so that you guys can write those main notes down. Part four is counseling and therapy. Okay? So get yourself into some counseling. Get some therapy for the things that bother you, and you may find out that they no longer bother you. The things that you're expecting from that person, if you're in it for the long haul and you guys go to the counseling and therapy together, you may find a way to work through the little things. So it's hard. We all came from different vajayjays, you know. So we're never going to be the same on a lot of things by the majority of the time. And that's just humanity, right? So we all come from separate vajayjays, and even people that come from the same vajayjay do not act the same. Amen. Don't preach to the choir. But we aren't all the same people. So that's when counseling and therapy comes in. Okay? So here we go. I'm not sure how long we've been here. Been here 22 minutes, 2 minutes too long. Jokes. So part one was behavior of the other person. Part two, how do they express feelings? Part three, let's discuss some things about you, the hurt person. We talked about that. And then part four, counseling and therapy. Those are the main notes. I thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Spreaker, podcast, and all the other platforms. I'm going to get ready to tell you guys, see you later, because I'm going to try something in the watch party that's going to go into the after the party. There's the after party. That's why you need to follow me on social media, every page, so you get to be a part of the fun all the time. That part. So follow me for you guys tuned into the podcast. Hashtag ASKDEEVA. You could also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, mzDeeVa for you. mzDeeVa, the number 4, and YOU. Love and peace. Safe and healthy. All right, so you guys over here on Facebook, you are about to be a part of the after party. What I am trying to do is create a watch party, right? And it's important that I don't do that. It's important that I don't do that. So what I'm trying to do is create a watch party, and what happened, this is just after party stuff. Facebook, you get to have all the fun after party stuff, because you guys are getting to be a part of the rehearsals and all the other things that feeds your nosy. Amen. And amen. So what I'm trying to do is see, can I get the after party? So I muted that just so that I could get the after party into the watch party. Once we do that, what we could do, maybe with the more extended topics, because I try to keep my Spotify Stitcher, Luminary, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I try to keep those within maybe a 20 minute to 30-minute window. But if there is a topic and you guys like to have a conversation a little later and you can't call into the call in line, then this is where you would go. Okay? So, the after party would stay up, or the watch party would be up. Now, I put something up on my Facebook, and that's where we're going to conclude with because I more than anybody, I see your inbox messages, and I understand it as you know. I have told you in replies there that I understand that the April 30th, 2020, I can empathize with you on many levels, and I understand what you are experiencing. So do not think that I do not understand. So today is April 30th, and tomorrow is May 1st. Now, what I would wish is that before this is going to come up again in 30 more days, it's going to be May 30th. And if the economy is going crazy or if it happens to start all over again and they have to shut things down again, that your income shuts down again, all those things that could possibly happen, it is so important that you put a plan in place. So, what I'm going to tell you to do today may or may not work for you because tomorrow is May 1st. But because this is something that the minute that everything started happening, the blessing, she's so bougie. No, the good thing that happens with me for my children is they know I give as soon as I see things and my intuition kicks in and everything and I get them started right away. I tend to be the same way with honey. So they are sitting in a very good place right now because they made a lot of adjustments and changes and they reached out to the people that they needed to reach out to so that this pandemic cutback would not impact their finances or impact what they are what they have going on, and they did this early. So what I'm going to tell you to do today, it may be a little too late for you if this is involving that you don't have your funds tomorrow because May 1st is here. But what you want to do when you know, as soon as you know, plan. A failure to plan is a plan to fail. So as soon as you know that this is something that is about to impact your life, and you know how your coins, girl, I'm not in your wallet. I don't know how your coins roll around. You know how your coins roll around. Fellas, you know how the coins jingle in your pocket, right? So, with that being said, you need to plan ahead. May 1st was always going to come. Amen. Let the church say amen. We drink some smoothie. Hmm. So, May 1st was always going to happen. So, you can't just say, my landlord better know. I know he better know. I ain't got it. No. I've seen too many things put out on curbsides across the nation to know that your landlord don't give a damn about your funky attitude. Okay? So you can't just say you better know. You need to call them. You need to set up an appointment. You need to have a discussion with them. You need to tell them that I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that I put those bills in place and give you, or, just not just your landlord. If you have a mortgage, you're getting the mortgage relief. So that's why I'm not talking to you guys. But bill collectors, your phone company, your car note, you need to take the time and get on the line and talk to someone and make adjustments. When it comes to your car, the way that you want to say that to them is, hi, I'm calling due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I know that I'm able to defer my payments and I would like to defer 90 days of payments. That gives you 3 months to not worry about that $800 Range Rover car note, girl, because you're overdoing it a little bit anyway. No, I'm joking. But so you can move the car note to the end and see if they will do that for you. I'm not promising that they will, but there are some and many that are. And when it comes to your our phone, hey, can I get an extension? Hopefully you haven't abused that feature and you have a little wiggle room there. As for an extension, if you have $20, girl, don't go buy a Gucci mask. I think they cost more than that. Hmm. I better look that up. Don't go buy a designer mask and some designer gloves to be cute when they open the doors to the economy again. You need to offer them the $20. Say, this is all I have. And can we work on extending it out to here or there? Do that with your bill collectors. Have a conversation with them. Okay, so don't wait. So if you failed to do that April 1st, and now May 1st is here, may the gods of understanding be in the hands of all those who control your bills. Because, girl, when they cut your phone or your internet, you will not be able to tune into my podcast. No, I'm joking. That is not the focus. But you may have your services cut, and you don't want to go through that. And your children, if they're in school, they need that. So make it priority to make those phone calls. Hopefully, they will listen to you, but do not wait until tomorrow morning and think that they're going to help you. That's last minute. And they have the right to implement whatever knows that they may throw your way. Okay? So don't do that. So, but if get this together for the 30th, make all those calls before tomorrow, which is the first day in today. Don't stress out. Stay in today. Know that tomorrow will do what tomorrow is supposed to do. As for I'm sorry, what's next? June. Did I say July earlier? June 1st. As for June 1st, you have time now. You can make some plans and do some things. And you have a little bit of time, right? So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate so much that you did do so. I know that I played around with statistics. I did that. So I played around with some stats a little bit, and I saw that you guys were actually you were actually listening after I had already went off the live. So I woke up, in the middle of the night, and I'm like, where do all these people come from? So, but I understand you guys are working, and everyone's schedule is different. So I do understand that. And YouTube, I like the feature. I'm going to use you guys more because I like being able to go live. That's been really awesome. The rest of you guys, the podcast will be up and going. Thank you for staying for the after party. Tell your friend to tell another friend to share this podcast and tune in to the next one and the next one and the next one after that. Thanks, you guys. Have a wonderful Thursday. Have a good Thursday, okay? I'm out.